Good morning and welcome to Homepage, a public affairs feature of 93.7 K Country and Wind FM 92.5, 95.5, and 107.9. I'm Kathy Dugan, and my guest this morning is Maureen Anderson, Dean of Admissions at the College of Central Florida. Good morning, Maureen. I'm so happy to talk to you.
Oh, well, thank you for reaching out to us.
Well, I was excited. I know that there's so many things that have changed so much. And by the way, go Patriots. I'm a CF grad.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I finally, actually, Lena Lutz and I have been friends for a really long time. And a few years back, she's like, do you realize that you can come in and just take a Microsoft test and graduate? I'm like, nuh-uh. She goes, just do it.
Oh,
and I did. She was right.
The word of mouth, right?
I love it. I love it. So, yeah, I am so proud to be a graduate of CF. Originally, it was CFCC, but hey, CF works for me. I love it.
That's right.
Now,
we're here for the community. We're here for the people.
You always have been, and that's what I love about CF. And there have been so many changes since we've become a world that's dealing with COVID-19. So how has that pandemic affected life at CF?
Well, first of all, we're here and we're open and we're serving students. We definitely want students to know that we're available. We've changed our processes and functions. We ramped up our Zoom meetings, and Zoom is the platform that you can have video meetings with students. Our phones, we rolled out our phones to the staff homes. We rolled out emails to lots of people. There were some people in our college that didn't have work as much to do with their job duties changing, so those people were reassigned to different areas. Mm-hmm. So our biggest focus for students is we're here, we're available. We just need them to know that. We need them to know that we're still registering for Summer B, which starts June 29th. We're still registering for Fall, which starts August 17th. We know that there's a lot of uncertainty, and students seem to be waiting to find out what's going on. But we're here, we're available, and we want students to come in.
You mentioned Summer B. Now, you do need to register by the 22nd, and you can do that at cf.edu, right?
Right, 29th, actually. Summer B starts June 29th.
Okay, so but the deadline, they've got to have their information.
Yeah.
So get it done, guys. Don't wait. Don't drag your feet. What's wrong with y'all?
It's always best to register and have your books and be prepared by the first day of school.
That really helps.
Mantra, that's our goal.
Now, you do have a lot of resources to help students who are taking online classes. What are some of them?
Oh, well, we have Canvas, which is our... Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I have one, too.
Anyway, Canvas is our online portal.
Right.
And we also have online tutoring. We're ramping up online tutoring. We know that some students have concerns with online education, and we want to make sure that we're here to help them. Faculty are here to help them. We have e-learning resources. So pretty much the student just needs to reach out. They just need to ask their advisor, ask their faculty, and we'll direct them to the resources that are available to assist them.
And you mentioned advisors. Now, the advisors aren't meeting in person, but they're still doing it virtually, aren't they?
Absolutely. They are here by phone. They are meeting with students via Zoom, so they are there to serve students.
Zoom is like the big thing now. I personally have not used Zoom yet. So.
Oh, you have to.
I know. I have to check it out. I've heard all about it. And it's like, maybe I could just use it just like to reach out to a few friends and try it out for a change.
Oh, no, absolutely. So we've been rolling out Zoom. We have a license. We're working on getting staff more familiar with it. Faculty are using it for interactions with students. Basically, you can have a class. It's just on a screen in front of you. So you can see the people. They can talk, but I don't know if you've seen it on social media. Mm-hmm. Happy hours have been a big thing.
Yeah, I've seen that. We've done a happy hour here at our radio stations. Yeah.
And we had a family birthday party, which I jokingly said it's probably the only time the family has been together where there were no arguments.
Don't we all say that about our families, right?
So Zoom actually is really interesting. It's kind of exciting because it does give us a way to interact. And it's fairly low tech. We call it low tech, where students can use their phone if they have a smartphone. The challenge is that we've redirected everything to online resources. And so when somebody doesn't have those resources, that becomes a challenge. And that's something that we're not forgetting. We're making sure that we're here for everybody.
Like, with students that either don't have internet or maybe they don't have high-speed internet, how are they handling that with classes?
Well, you know what we did? We rolled out our Wi-Fi out into our parking lot. Students can come. They have to be a student because you do have to log in. But students can come and sit in our parking lot and use their laptops and connect to high-speed internet to conduct whatever business they need to conduct. And it's actually been used because internet is slow in some of our areas and or non-existent in some of our areas. And so we find that the students are using it and are appreciative of it.
That's awesome. You know, for someone like me, I'm the type of person who would love online classes, but maybe not necessarily be able to get in the right mindset at home. So that's something they could do even if they do have decent internet. They can go and I'm going to school. I've got to get ready just like I always do. I'm going, but I'm going to sit in my car and do it.
Right.
So,
and then you're away from your distractions.
Yes.
You know, yes.
I am easily distracted. So that is perfect for somebody like me. And there are a lot of kids like that and young people and even older people who are taking classes now. I was one of the older people that graduated. So now you can...
I'm sure you're not old.
I'm older than the typical student, I would say. Well, you still have grants and stuff going on as well. You've got a summer Pell Grant.
Absolutely. We have summer Pell Grant. Some students are eligible for Summer Bright Futures. So, yep, financial aid is available. It's definitely an access point for students. It allows students to be able to access education. If students have lost their job and previously were not eligible for Pell Grants, they can reach out to us and we can reevaluate their income to see if they are eligible. CF in general has over $2 million in scholarships. Those funds are available. We also received CARES Act funds from the U.S. Department of Education, and we've been rolling out those funds to our students. We've awarded over $2 million of the $2.5 million that we received from the U.S. Department of Education. So I would like to say that money should not be a barrier. Money should not be a problem. If a student is wanting to come to school, we're going to make our best effort to make it financially feasible for a student.
Basically, if they're willing, you are there to help them in any way you can.
Yes, we are.
That's awesome. Now, what are the current requirements to become a student at CF? Say I'm graduating high school and I want to be a student.
You have to have a high school diploma or a GED and be able to provide that to us. If you want to pay in-state tuition, you do have to be able to document that you've been a Florida resident for 12 months. We used to require test scores for some students, but that has been waived due to the governor's executive order. So there is no need for testing at this time. And if you've attended a previous institution, a previous college, we do require the transcript so that we can transfer in the courses that you've previously taken. A new student is required to meet with an advisor, and then you're good to go.
Wow. And you can even apply online. What's take like 10 minutes to do maybe?
Oh, absolutely. What I really want to focus on is we have, as we've shifted our gears to online, we have an online open house coming up next Tuesday. If you go to cf.edu, right on our homepage is information about the open house. The open house is a place for a student to meet with anybody they need to at the college. We'll go ahead and discuss what they need, and in hopes of getting them registered by June 29th. So open house is a big access point for students. We don't want them to feel like, they don't know how to navigate it. That's an opportunity for us to help the student navigate through to enrollment. The other thing that we've been doing is virtual information sessions. Pretty much we used to do lots of information sessions and students had to come to campus. And this is our new norm. We expect these information sessions online to continue, and this is something that we're using Zoom for. So we have a bunch of them. We have health sciences, dual enrollment, business administration, dental, radiography, agribusiness, we have a bunch of virtual information sessions coming up. So if a student goes to our website, cf.edu, just types in information session, there'll be dates and times listed, and that will be a live person. It's not a video. It's not some of it may be pre-recorded, but there's a live person there to answer their live questions.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so we're really trying to get the word out to students. We know that people are home and unsure, and we're trying to make sure that they know what's available. And I really think that this is an opportunity. What we've been looking for in COVID is opportunities. Mm-hmm. And it's an opportunity for us to serve students differently. It's an opportunity to get the word out easier and faster. And so this is one of our opportunities that we've taken, is these virtual sessions.
I love this. And I was looking into it, actually. I can still sign into my CF. I love it. And I was looking, and you've got lots of stuff going on with your open house. You do have to register in advance, so do that now while you're thinking about it, cf.edu. But it looks like you can jump in and out of different virtual rooms between 1 and 5 p.m. this Tuesday.
Yes.
That's so
we
cool.
Will be moving students in and out into different rooms. That's one of the capabilities of Zoom. So we move them in and out of rooms and put them to the person that they can speak to. They'd be having a private conversation with their advisor, a private conversation with financial aid. So it's really a good opportunity for students to take care of their business without having to go to different places and set aside time to come to campus.
Wow. And do I understand this right? You're waiving the application fee for the online event, $30. You don't have to pay it.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. I love it. I want to know a little bit more about Canvas, because that wasn't available when I went to school there.
Oh, okay. So Canvas is it's a learning management system. It's an online learning management system. All of our courses are in Canvas. The students can log into Canvas. They see their syllabus. They see their assignments. They can chat with other students. It's pretty. We call it the learning portal. High school students are probably familiar with it because even high schools use a learning management system. But it's a way for students to have all of their information in one place and not have to jump around to different places to find what the different instructors have for them.
That's incredible. I love that. Why wasn't that available when I was in school?
Well.
Oh, man, that is so neat. Well, you did something recently that you have never done before. You did a virtual commencement. How did it go?
Oh, it went really well. We were pretty happy with it. We had different presenters. We had our bagpipe. We had our president. We had community members wish our students well. Of course, we're disappointed that we could not have the students on campus or in person. Commencement is the highlight of our year, mm-hmm. in that we finally see the student complete what they've set their goals to be. So we were disappointed that it couldn't be live, and we know students were disappointed that it couldn't be live. But as far as, what we could offer, it was, again, an opportunity to do something different, and we tried to take advantage of those opportunities.
Is that something that you're probably going to do in the future as well?
No, we definitely plan on going back to a live commencement as soon as we're allowed.
Well, that's good.
We're allowed to have large groups. We plan on going back to a live commencement.
Let me say, as somebody who was not going to do the whole walking thing, I told my friend Lana, I'm like, I don't need to do that. I'll just, I'll get the diploma. She's like, no, it's not the same. You've got to do, the commencement. You have to. And after doing it, and I imagine it's, a lot the same online, you're just being told, okay, you did this, you're moving on to the next part of your life. And even me, graduating so many years after I started at CF, I'm glad I did it because I did have this a feeling of satisfaction. So I encourage anybody, whether you do it virtually or whether you do it in person, do it. Do the walk.
Oh, yeah.
Just do
Celebrate it.
Yes.
I tell students that when it comes to your education and it comes to that piece of paper at the end, it's the one thing that is only yours. Mm-hmm. It is nobody else's. It's not your husband's. It's not your kids.
Yep.
I was a non-traditional parent, single parent, when I got my bachelor's degree. And I could cry today telling you just how emotional I was, mm-hmm. to accomplish that goal. So commencement every time I hear that bagpipe play that song, I'm a little embarrassed because I tear up.
Yeah.
Because I've heard it hundreds of times. I've been to so many commencements, and it doesn't get old.
No.
It's so neat to see people excited and knowing what it feels like to accomplish that goal. So, yeah, commencement's great.
It is. It's very important to be a part of that. And the way that you guys did that virtually, just to make it happen, just must have been so special for the students to just have that feeling. You work hard. You work a lot of years to, get those grades, to get your associate's degree or your bachelor's degree. You deserve to be recognized.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the one thing that you'll have forever, it can't be taken away, and it's only yours.
Exactly. You look up at your diploma. I still look up at mine, and I get a little teary-eyed. It's a big deal.
It is. It's a very big deal. Very big.
So let's talk about extracurricular activities like sports and clubs. Are there any plans for those to be back on campus anytime soon?
Well, sports, we're still waiting on guidance. I think every college is waiting on guidance from the national associations. So the NJCAA is still discussing. I actually think they have meetings daily. We're going to start allowing the athletes to train and have a small number in the training room. With a small number, we can wipe down the equipment and have appropriate social distancing. Clubs, we're looking at doing things differently. We've had events all along via Zoom. We've had trivia nights. We've had talks. We've had several trivia nights. It's actually been fun. I've logged in myself and was very proud of myself because I won one.
Hey, you've got to do something fun.
I know. I was very proud of myself.
Very good. Good job, Maureen.
But it's more online. And then when we move back to campus in the fall, we'll have to reevaluate, what we can do. But there is definitely a focus to keep students involved and engaged and just doing things differently for students. But again, clubs can meet via Zoom, and clubs are still interacting. They're just not, hanging out in small spaces like they used to.
Right. Now, with most fall classes online, are there going to be some in-person classes still?
Yes, we have career education classes that must be in person, such, for example, law enforcement, welding, health sciences. When you're in clinicals, obviously, you can't do those online. So we'll definitely, most of our career and technical education classes will have some sort of in-person component when they'll be exercising protocols, social distancing, and then probably staggering the students, how many can come at any one time. So we'll have some students on campus. And then we're looking at our liberal arts classes, our math, sciences, humanities, and we're looking at it's called asynchronous learning, which is like Zoom, where the faculty member is there participating and engaging with the students, but that they're not in person. And so we're really looking at doing asynchronous learning for a lot of our classes.
Wow. Now, speaking of the instructors, are they maintaining regular office hours still, but virtually?
Yes. So they still have office hours. They're still able to communicate with the students. Again, they all have Zoom. So the college is encouraging them to utilize Zoom, and many of them are. So the students can still have access to their faculty member.
That's fantastic. Now, some students aren't adapting as well to online learning, obviously. How can we help students like that?
Well, that's where we talk about our e-learning department, our tutoring department. Yeah, some students, want the interaction, want the face-to-face, want the high touch of coming to campus, and I understand that. There's also the benefit of kind of having your schedule. When you're a true online class, the schedule kind of becomes fluid and you kind of lose track of time.
Sure.
Whereas when you're interacting on a regular basis, you're more apt to stay up to date on what's due and what's needed. But again, we're all understanding of this and trying to work through the students. We have many resources on campus. We have student support services. We have counseling. We have disability resources. Many of our student affairs staff and our academic affairs staff know how to guide a student and give them some tools and best practices. So pretty much the student just has to say, hey, I need help. And then they'll talk, decide what kind of help they need, and then we'll refer them to somebody who can reach out to them and assist them.
So if you're a student that's listening right now, or maybe a student that is kind of apprehensive, don't be apprehensive. Ask for help. There's no shame in asking for help.
No, and that's the beauty, I think, of the state colleges and CF is we have small classes. We have a small student population compared to the larger institutions, north and south of us. We have a little bit more hands-on abilities than some other institutions, and so it is so much better for a student to ask for help or tell us where they're struggling so we can assist them. And I'll give you an example of what we can do or what we have done for students. As soon as we went into this online learning, we knew that it was, concerning for students. They may have technology issues that they weren't willing to speak up. They didn't know that we were available. We made a phone call to every single student. We called over 6,000 students, each one of them individually. We had a team of people that made these phone calls and pretty much just wanted to say, we're here. What do you need? What can we do for you? What resources can we provide to you? And in some cases, we loaned out laptops. Like I said, we rolled out Wi-Fi so they could get it in the parking lot. So that was our opportunity to hear from students, see what they need, and then provide that. So I think people get afraid to ask for help, and that's what they need to understand is we're actually here, and that is our job to help students.
And I've always been one that I'll be the first to ask for help if I don't understand something, if I'm scared of something, because it's a whole different world right now. Like you said, our new normal, and it's going to terrify some students, obviously, or, at least scare them a little bit. All you got to do is ask. That's one thing that I remember about CF, even when it was CFCC, is that you've always cared for your students. You've always put them first.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I've seen stuff on social media about taking a gap year and taking the year off, and that is not what we recommend. Mm-mm. We recommend that the students kind of jump in. If you don't think you can handle it, then take a lesser load.
Yep.
But don't put it off because there's an uncertainty everywhere. You don't want to put your plans on hold. Even if you were planning on going to a university and you're not sure about whether you should go to the university and pay the cost for residence halls or apartments,
sure.
Come to CF, take some classes at CF, and then have those transfer to university. We don't want students to feel apprehensive. We want them to know that we're here, we're ready, and we can make it work for everybody.
Absolutely. And you're going to pay less going to CF than you are going to a university at this time. So you may as well just jump in, maybe start small. Take a class for summer B, get your stuff in by the 22nd because it starts on the 29th. But I took summer classes 2 weeks after high school, jumped right in, and summer classes are actually pretty awesome.
Good for you.
It felt like, compared to the fall classes when I went afterwards, it was a little more relaxed in the summer. So it was a really good way for me to ease into college, and it may be for others as well.
Right. And summer is so condensed that you can actually focus on small things instead of, if you're in the fall and you're taking 5 classes and you're time managing 5 classes, whereas summer, there's no way we would recommend somebody taking 5 classes on June 29th. So, you're taking 1 or 2. It's easier to manage your time and focus differently. So, summer does have a different flavor to it than fall and spring.
Now, what about international students? In the past, you've had international students come. How's that going to work with the upcoming semesters?
Well, we actually are still looking at that, and we're still talking about it. We met about it yesterday. We are welcoming international students, provided that they are allowed to come. Our current international students, of course, will stay and continue. The question is whether new international students will be able to come. Do they have to self-quarantine? So we're looking at, if they can take online classes, where they are. So we're looking at different options. But our current international students will continue as they have before. Many of them did not leave. And then those that did leave, may return.
Now, for some students, it's been a difficult time for them. This has been a big, huge change for so many. And, they've been dealing with depression. Do you have mental health services that can help them?
Yes, we have mental health counselors, but more importantly, we have a contract with Baycare. And Baycare is a virtual services, and we know that our students are utilizing those services. They can call, get free counseling, and talk with them. And we've heard about the apprehension and particularly our veterans. We have a good population of veteran students.
Yep.
And those students are there's an increase in depression and mental health concerns with our veterans. So we have services for veterans. We are very well connected in the community with the Veterans Coalition and the services available to veterans. So, and then we do have several mental health counselors on our campus. So literally, as soon as we hear that a student has a concern, or we think the student has concern, we refer them to them, and they'll call day or night, weekends. It does not matter that it's not business hours. They reach out to students and give them resources and/or let them know that they're available for help.
That's excellent. And as a student, don't wait till it's too late. Just reach out, talk to the school. CF will help you.
Yeah.
That's why you guys are there. You like I said before, you care about your students. You put them first. And we're going to remind you one more time about this fantastic thing you've got coming up on Tuesday, the CF Virtual Open House. And that's going to be from 1 to 5 p.m., right?
Yes.
And they've got to register right now. Do it now because you're thinking about it and you don't want to forget cf.edu. And it's just going to be really neat, isn't it?
Yeah, we're really excited about it. This is our first time doing something like this, so we've been actually testing it and playing with it. So we're actually really excited about being able to serve students differently and serve them where they are.
Don't forget to do that on Tuesday. Again, Summer B starts on the 29th. The deadline to get your application is the 22nd. But if you are part of the CF Virtual Open House this Tuesday, the $30 application fee is waived.
Yes, ma'am. And our information sessions, go to our website. We have many information sessions. So if you're even lightly interested in health sciences, if you're even wondering about what agribusiness is, this is an opportunity for you to learn about our different programs and the different opportunities at CF, as well as job opportunities in the community and where these programs lead to jobs.
Maureen, thank you so much. Maureen Anderson, Dean of Admissions, College of Central Florida. I so appreciate you talking with us today.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Homepage is presented as a public affairs feature of 93.7 K Country and Wind FM 92.5, 95.5, and 107.9. Your comments are always welcome, and you can email me at homepage@ncfmgroup.com. You can also listen to Homepage by going to our websites at 937kcountry.com and windfm.com. I'm Kathy Dugan. Please join us again next Sunday for Homepage.